Alright, what's happening, guys? William Craddock, WillToWin Gaming here. I am with Josh, aka Impact.
How's it going?
I'm with Eric Quintana.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
And I'm with Arnold. I can't say your last name.
It's Nataban. What's up?
One more time.
Nataban?
Okay.
Nada ban.
Not a ban. Okay.
Not ban.
Alright. Perfect. Alright, so today we're going to talk about Josh's win in Montreal. He's on 9 serials?
8 serials.
8? That's got to be the most in the game right now. Right? Like,
Yeah,
No,
him or Jackson probably.
I have more than Jackson. I have less than Chris Sock.
okay.
Yeah.
Chris Sock's a god, so that's okay.
I'm only 15 points away from first place.
We'll get it.
Half the way away from passing him.
You're gonna go play Dragon Ball. What's wrong with you?
This weekend is the Dragon Ball spot. Yes.
But yeah, we're gonna talk about Montreal. We're gonna talk about EB01 because if y'all didn't know, I've been sick for like a month, 5 weeks. I've been out of the hospital. I've had surgery, and then someone gave me the flu.
Oh, no, I thought you had the flu for 5 weeks.
No. No, I had a couple surgeries, and then I got the flu from you. And then I nearly died, but that's okay. And then, yeah, so let's get into it. First, I want Josh to tell me about Montreal, and then Arnold, you can kind of, you got second. That's good too. I know what it's like to be the first loser, so yeah, take it away.
Yeah.
All right. So the weekend before, I got second place in Mexico City playing Saka. So I felt like I didn't really want to change too much in my deck. I did notice that Murakuma was the best card in my deck when I was playing in that meta.
Is that the blue event?
Yeah, the double bot deck. So I noticed that it was one of the best cards in my deck. So I definitely wanted to include a second one, but I couldn't really justify a second one without stage. So what I did was I cut a Great Eruption for stage, and I cut Aluchi for a second Murakuma. And then from there, my deck was like flowing so perfectly, I just ran them.
Nice.
That card's insane.
That
card's insane.
Played it in Montreal. I played 2 Yamatos, and I still pulled it out. Still pulled out the 9-0 victory.
How many mirrors did you play?
I think like 4.
Okay.
4 mirrors, 2 Yamatos, 1 Katakuri, 1 4 mirrors, 2 Yamatos, 1 Katakuri.
Yeah, 7.
And
Gecko?
Whitebeard?
I didn't play any Gecko. I played a Zoro, and then I played something else.
Oh, I was next to you when you played the Zoro.
Yeah, you were next to me when I played the Zoro.
I was next to you like every round.
That usually ends up happening.
Yeah.
Happens when you're winning, right?
Aren't you supposed to die to Zoro? And that's supposed to be like a horrendous matchup? Like Jambe and stuff?
It was okay. The guy wasn't very good. He was new. And then there was something else that I played. That was...
Luffy?
Oh yeah, I played a Luffy at 7-0. I played a Luffy.
I don't know. So we'll roll with it. All right, Arnold, what about you?
Oh, mine was completely different. I played 6 mirrors.
6?
I lost the Dyro to all 6. It was crazy.
Okay, so quick question. You lost the Dyros all 6. Did the people you played against choose differently? Like, did some choose...
Everyone chose second.
Everyone chose
Some
second.
people played differently. Because I played a guy who was in my hotel room. And the night before, Sammy Wang was telling him that he will never... Like, he doesn't drop Kuzan on 4 if his opponent has, like, 2 Toshigis and brand new. And I had that specifically against him. And he added Kuzan on 2. And he just randomly dropped a Lucci to clear my Toshigi Branny. And I was like, this doesn't seem good, but I don't know, it like changed my play. Then we grinded. And late game I drop a Moria. He drops his Moria. I Moria clear his. He went like Rebecca Lucci stage to kind of clear, but the Moria stuck. And I was like, okay, drop the second Moria and just like not put up blockers and self lethal.
How often was like Moria battles just like the decider of them? Was it like pretty?
Against Josh, it wasn't. Like both our Morias died real quick.
I have a very different style. When I know that I don't have Morias, I play very aggressively. That way they're not comfortable dropping in Morias. That was kind of how I was winning a lot of my mirrors, because I won so many mirrors where my opponent completely outdrew me, and it was just because like I recognized like, oh, it's my 4 dawn turn and I still don't have a Moria. I have like 4 draws to see it, so I probably should just like start playing aggressively. I would just like Hound Blaze like my little searchers to kill like anything, start attacking them, putting them to like 2, 1 life, and then like once you get them to 1, you can pressure them, and then they can't really ever play Moria. And then you're still at high enough life that if you draw a Moria, you make up all the value that you spent like trying to kill them by just like slamming a value Moria, and they can't do anything with their Moria into your Moria, because then you just kill them.
Because they'll just die.
Kinda- Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like a very good strategy into Sakazuki's that just like drew better. And
Arnold,
I can kind of recognize when they draw better too, right? It's like
yeah.
they start cycling the usual suspects, right? They put the Lucci in the trash, they put the Kuzan in the trash, they put the Helmephos in the trash, they cycle searchers, they counter with searchers. Like you would never do that stuff unless you have Moria,
Moria,
right? So
yeah.
Yeah.
So you just recognize that stuff and you start to see the patterns, right? And then that's kind of sets off alarms in my brain where it's like, okay, well, I better start attacking my opponent for 7 a bunch. That way,
Mhm.
even if he like guards out, he doesn't have that many cards to follow up with his Moria. So if I can kill his Moria, even if it's inefficient, he doesn't have the follow up to deal with my stuff. Like for example, in the game I played against Arnold, actually, like I dealt with his Moria in a really inefficient way. I went like Ice Age, Stage, Borsellino, Houndblaze to deal with his Moria and his Lucci, and it was still good because I got to put him to 1 while also developing a threat. So he had to remove the threat and then still kind of defend himself. And then I ended up winning by even just like going Rebecca 7 and 8.
I remember
Yo, I
that.
got so punished because on your last turn, you attack and I have to pitch a 2K. And I didn't have a removal event, and I have a Brook and a Suru. And I'm like, I really think I'm gonna have to drop this Brook next turn to pop something. So I pitched the Suru, and there's only 1 sword left in my deck, and I think there's 1 Lucci left. And then I draw the sword for a turn, and I'm just like, I'm gonna kill myself.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So were you on stage or were you on events, Arnold?
Arnold was like 1 card different from me because we
Yeah,
were
okay.
practicing together last week. We
Okay.
were practicing in Mexico
I did
City.
horribly in Mexico with stage. So I went on Limitless, and I was like, who's been doing the best with Saka? I saw Jonas had 4 tops since March with Saka, and I just like copied his list, checked Impact's list, and like blended both.
Okay.
Kinda
Jonas can with anything though. Like that dude's just really good. I'm just saying.
You kind of also noticed that we both played stage and we both were doing the best out of anybody, right? So like, or we didn't like we weren't playing the stage build, we were playing the event build. We were doing the
Yeah.
best.
So I'm gonna point out to all you watching that we will have a updated Sokka guide by Impact Josh, who's probably the best Sokka in the world right now. So if you want to spend that $15 to learn how to win mirrors, beat every other deck, make sure you do that. I want to ask about EB01 in general. This is gonna be for all 3 of you. I'm gonna start with Eric since he plays something a little different. I honestly don't like the deck Eric plays. I kind of hate it. But yeah, take it away. Just tell me about EB01. Tell me your feelings thus far.
I like EB01. It added a lot of new decks to the format. It feels not like you still probably won't play Sokka if you're going into any event. I'm personally playing Black Yellow Luffy. I think the deck's so much fun and it has a lot of power. Moria is the reason I like Black Yellow Luffy a lot is besides Sokka, you have a really good matchup against everything. The new big boogeyman in the room is Red Purple Law. That's probably the one deck that got the strongest out of all the new cards. Kid Killer being super strong, Bon Clay being super strong. That deck's very consistent, can attack very well, and can be very fast if needed. We've seen the European player Sui do very well.
He's from Ecuador.
Oh, really? Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been doing really well recently with it.
Cedena. Francisco.
Yeah. So he's been doing really well with that. So that's probably something that I think is a really good step. But recently, Saka has just been dominating everything. That could be because most of the best players are running the list, or is just as strong as we all think it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting banned, right? Yeah, it's getting banned.
There's a reason
it has to be strong. Like it. So you're only playing Black Yellow Luffy because you like it. You recognize that Saka is probably just a better deck overall.
Saka's probably better. Like, if you play your top game, Saka will reward you the most.
Saka's the best deck in the room every tournament for sure.
Yes, yeah, for sure. It can lose, but that doesn't mean it's not the best deck.
Yeah. There's another 2 decks that got a lot of support. So Anel got a lot of support. It got a couple really strong cards. It got the 6 non-renewable spell, which now gives it a way to deal with 10 moms, deals with Moria, stuff that it really hurt to deal with before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now it's got a nice answer to those. It got the 7-drop or the 5-cost 7k Ace Rush, which is a good finisher for that deck. It allows you to do an efficient Amaru Ace turn on pretty low Dom, right? So you can get a big attack with your leader and a big attack with your Ace. That's a good finisher, as well as just even just on curve, playing it as a vanilla 5/7 is still fine. It also got the starter deck Sabo, which has good synergy with the deck, like Trash for Life, and kill a 5 or less. Very strong for that deck.
It's a 5 or less. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's more copies of Fidatsu basically.
Flambe.
Yeah, Flambe is another good one. You just take your first life and you draw a card. It's a very good first turn play for a deck that doesn't have that many first turn plays. Another deck.
Also, summon.
Yeah, summon the Enel. Some decks play that. Some decks play it. It's pretty strong.
Put you on 1 though, right? If you play it.
You could also just be on 1 though and play it. That deck is pretty easy to get to 1 life, and then you can just
pitch. Flambe's, Hioris now, the new Sabo. You just start trashing all your life and drawing it all.
Yeah, you can just pitch your life and it's fine. Another deck that got a lot of support that is worth mentioning is Uta. So I have the stats from TCG Matchmaking. Uta is the 4th highest win rate deck. To the surprise of many people, when I keep defending this deck, it only has 1 bad matchup according to statistics. It only loses to exactly Sakazuki, but beats pretty much everything else into the dirt. But my favorite part of this format is that Katakuri has a sub 50% win rate now.
Yeah.
Katakuri sucks now. It is not good. It loses to all of the new decks, every single one. It's gotten a worse matchup to Moria because Moria now is playing Hines. And it always had a bad Sakazuki matchup. So now it's just Katakuri doesn't have a good matchup into anything. The Katakuri I played, the 1 Katakuri that I played in the regional, I won on 3 life. I think that speaks volumes, right?
Yeah, that's a little odd.
Yeah. Just Kuza and stuff, and that was it.
So reinforcing the idea that Saka, when Saka's gone, it's going to be a wide open. Is that kind of reinforcing that idea?
Yeah. The Mesquite format is going to be really interesting, that tournament, because that's going to be in between EB07 and after the ban. So that's going to be a really fun tournament. Yeah.
So the ban's going to happen, but 7 won't be out yet?
No, it'll be out that weekend. So we won't be
able to it's the pre-release weekend, right? So because it's the pre-release weekend, it's not
legal for the tournament.
Right.
It's not legal for the tournament. However, the Saka ban goes into effect once the set comes out. So.
Why? They need to push that a week. I want to play OP07. Like, come on.
I want to ask you a question. So you said Uto is the 4th. I'm assuming Saka's 1 in win rate percentage.
Saka's the best, Law is the second best, and then Moria is the third one.
Third? Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, 1 and 2 are Saka, then Moria, and then third is Law, because Law specifically is bad into Moria. And me personally, I say Saka's really good into Law. A lot of people disagree with me. I'm not sure about that.
Well, it's because you learned how to play the matchup when I showed you, right? You just counter every hit possible so that the Kid and Killer doesn't work.
Yeah.
And that really affects the matchup. I played against the Law in Mexico City in the top 8, and I 2-0'd it because I knew how to play the matchup. But most people are so accustomed to taking early hits, and because they're taking those early hits, unfortunately, what ends up happening is they just die to the Kid and Killer.
Yeah, attack's so easy. Like, just 4 for 7, right? It's just such a good return rate if you're on 2 life.
Whitebeard also is the 5th best deck. I don't know if you guys knew that. According to the stats, Kid and Killer was also huge for that deck.
I mean, that card will come back later. Like, there's gonna be aggro decks in the future. Like, it's just too good.
I mean, Whitebeard has a winning matchup into pretty much everything except like random decks like Uta. It's like Whitebeard is just actually crazy. My friend Nick didn't play for 5 months, picked up Whitebeard the night before, and got 12 plays.
I played him round 3 on feature.
Yeah, you played him in the feature match.
Yeah.
You also played Jonas, right? You played.
Yeah, I played 3 features. It was Nick, Jonas, like on 5, I think, and Josh on 9.
Yeah.
So I was actually talking to Jonas, and Jonas said you baited him very hard. Do you know what you know what you're talking? Do you know what you're talking about?
Yeah, I cooked him hard with the mind game. So like, I had few cards in hand, and I dropped the Moria for Lucci Helmeppo, but with the Lucci arrested and Helmeppo on attack, and I have like 3 in hand, and he swings 8 into Lucci, and I'm just like, okay, 2K, 1K.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this like when Moria came out, right? Like resting the Lucci and bringing the brand new in untapped. Yeah, that's.
Keeps it safe to be attacker next turn.
I kind of just assume a lot of stuff we do is like talk about in our guides and between each other's common knowledge, but I guess it's not always like that.
Yeah. So the thing is, we're very ahead of the game in general. So
y'all are. All right, I've been on bed rest. I'm coming back. Like, I'll be playing tournaments again soon, but
it's all right. We'll bring you up to speed very quickly.
Yeah,
don't worry.
I'm playing Saka in Peoria, so we're gonna jam some mirror.
Yeah, Saka has a full 1% higher win rate than every other deck. It's just that's insane. If you looked at that in Hearthstone, that deck would be nerfed like 5 times already. But we already know it's getting banned, right?
Yeah, no need to touch it, right? I mean, to me, it should have been banned already. Like, if they knew, like, they need to stop this. Like, well, we're gonna wait so you can experience full format. Like, I feel the same with Whitebeard. I honestly think Whitebeard should have just been. But,
yeah.
Like that's how Saka feels. Saka feels like it's just a little bit better than every other deck. Like, and that Whitebeard was the exact same way, in my opinion.
Yeah, Sokka's not a little bit better than every other deck. I'm looking at the matchup statistics now for Sokka, actually. I have them on my second monitor. Sokka has exactly 2 unfavored matchups. It's unfavored against Yamato, and it's still only 47% unfavored, and then it's 47 against Law. It's just it's busted.
Yamato is definitely right. Like, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, they can just kill you, but whatever. Like, shit happens.
Yeah. ST10 Law has a couple holes in its game. It's weak against Moria. It's weak against NL. and it gets creamed by Whitebeard actually. But other than that,
Who's
it's
playing
another deck
Whitebeard?
that
I mean, I guess people are playing Whitebeard. My problem with Whitebeard is it gets murdered by Gecko, right? Like, it just cannot beat Gecko.
not consistently anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, watch this, attack for
But you
6,
can't never beat
Piranha.
Luke together.
But the thing is though, Whitebeard has been tearing it up. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's
It's
two
topped
Whitebeards
every
in almost
week.
every. It's topped every week, at least 1 or 2 copies in the top 8. It's just like
Yeah, if you get the right matchups throughout the week, it can just run the gauntlet. As long as it dodges Moria and probably Black Yellow Luffy, maybe even some Uta. Like you just probably smoke everything else.
Yeah, Uta
Black
seems so
Yellow-
bad.
well, Black Yellow Luffy's actually fine because you can just like rush them down, and then you have Shiraiya's too to like attack with for base. It's not even bad.
Yep.
It looks favored according to the stats here.
I mean, I also think Black Yellow Luffy is like probably a really hard deck to actually play. Besides like the late game where you're just playing Moria activating effects. The early game's like pretty complicated.
I watch you play that deck on stream, and I have a headache. I don't know. The deck just like it doesn't sit right with me. It shouldn't exist for some reason. I don't know why. So
I understand. But yeah, if they're taking Shiraiya for the Black Yellow Luffy, it would definitely make it better for them.
wait, who's Shiraiya? Is that
The one that matches leader.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Shiraiya can attack the leader for 9k
Luffy.
base.
Oh, even it's
yeah.
a 9, yeah. That's
So if we
interesting.
don't have a blocker, we can't do
Kill you.
anything.
Yeah, you can just load it up. Yeah, the main thing again, like I said, the main thing I'm really happy about is that Katakuri is just unplayable now.
What we have to. That means we have to teach Didi a new deck, though. You know that.
That's okay.
Whitebeard. Sherry knows
White-
Whitebeard.
Whitebeard.
That's true. She can play Whitebeard. She loves that deck.
Tell her it made a complete and full recovery.
Tell her Charlie Pudding's back in 08.
Yeah. We don't have to worry about pudding really, to be honest. Only like
Yeah.
1 or 2 decks play pudding now. Yeah.
No, Charlie Pudding, the leader.
Oh, the leader is
Yeah.
ultra giga busted. Yeah.
You mean free
Oh,
ramp
no.
on a leader is busted? Who knew?
Not only is it free ramp on the leader, it has like double searchable ramp cards that it can play. Like it's so good. And then you're just ramping into absolute units, like 7 mom, 9 mom, 10 mom. Just fun.
I forgot, man. Those new like purple cards do so much. Like I get a headache reading them. She's like, "What's the mom do?" It's like minus something. You can put something in their life and gain a life, or it's just like the power creep seems like it's starting to accelerate. I feel
Power creep's coming for sure, but
Yeah.
this game is hard enough that it is that like more powerful cards only really help like more powerful players. That's always how I found it with these games anyway.
I feel like the ramp strategy is actually needed, right? Like aggro has always been. There's always been good aggro decks. There's always been good tempo decks like Sokka. Ramp had Kaido and OP01, but it was never the nuts.
And then I
Yeah,
had
Luffy.
and then I had Pluffy for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Even then, Pluffy just couldn't. Pluffy just was so bad against Sokka, right? Like a Hound Blaze, like
It couldn't keep up, yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, I'm really enjoying EB01 format. I'm really happy I got to take Virgo out of my deck, and there was many times that I played T-Bone and popped a card. So contrary to popular belief that it's just a 2K with slightly more utility, no, I've used it like I've gone Ice Age, like attack with my leader, play T-Bone like several times.
I mean, that's probably the biggest power creep. Like just the new 2Ks that just do something that is relevant. Like that's definitely like the biggest power creep we've probably seen so far. Even though people might not realize it.
And they can attack. Like almost all of them have at least 5 to the base.
Like I actually had to, when I was looking at y'all's deck list from the tournaments, I actually had to like read a lot of cards because I was like, what is this? I'm like, oh, it's a 2K, but it has something that bounces a guy, or it's like Flambe, it draws a card. Like it just, I'm an old man. It takes me a while to soak it in. And then I think we lost Josh.
Oh yeah. He's got,
He's got the.
he got
Alright.
confused.
Well, I guess a good place to wrap it up. We lost Josh. Is there anything y'all want to add?
This is a solid format. I think it's gonna get even better in OP7. I think it'll still be as fun. There'll be a lot of decks. A lot of decks can win now. Sokka's probably like the one if I was to take. If I was told you need to win this next event, I'd probably take Sokka, which I might end up playing this weekend. Who knows?
Arnold?
Me? Oh, I'm definitely playing Saga still. Like this weekend on the
I'm
treasure
gonna try
cup.
and join on my phone without the camera.
Next week for Peoria, but I know a lot of people don't like playing Saga, or it's a little bit hard. And I think that like
Hello?
the second and third, we can hear you.
We can hear you. We're closing up, Josh. Alright, well.
If you don't want to play Saga, I would play Moria or Luffy. Moria can like queue into anything and be fine. Luffy, if you dodge Sokka,
It's so
like
strong.
you play 0 Sagas, I think you probably win the event, but it's impossible to play 0 Sagas.
I feel like Gecko is kind of on the same wavelength as Sokka though. If you're not playing Sokka because it's too hard, I think Gecko probably like I feel like when some like Law be like, I mean no offense to Law, but I feel like Law is pretty like automatic. Like I feel like it's very flow chart. Like, oh, I have this, I'm gonna kill your guy, I'm gonna play this. Like there's not much to it, but
Yep.
I haven't really played the deck, so no offense, y'all. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here. The last thing I want to mention is we are trying to recruit a new member for the team. He may be on screen right now. We're gonna talk after this. If you haven't talked to Josh, but anyway, that was it for this episode of WillToWin Gaming, where I am doing the editing and trying to do some more stuff because I've been gone for like 5 weeks. And yeah, I'll catch y'all next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out the Patreon. We're going to have so many EB01 guides from all these great players.
Later.
Peace.